Time for another edition of Meet the Cardinals, with the opportunity we have to talk to some of the Cardinal stars and find out a little bit more about them both on and off the court. From Houston, Texas, Charles Williams, you're a long way from home, my man.
Yes, sir, I am.
All right, well, we need to talk a little bit about how you ended up at North Idaho College. I mean, my goodness sakes, what is that, 2,000, 2,200 miles?
Oh, yeah. It's very far away from home. I have a friend. He plays at Gonzaga. He's a point guard, Nigel Williams-Goss. He kind of was a reason that I came here. He influenced me to come here. He had a friend that attended this school last year, Brian Angola. So Brian enjoyed.
Who was that guy? Who? Brian Angola Rodas? I don't think I know that guy. I never heard of him.
He's a superstar here on campus,
time,
and
he's the goat.
Yeah. So he kind of influenced me to come here and do my 2 college years here.
So how did you meet Nigel?
I met Nigel through my god sister. They're actually dating right now. So I met him. He came down to Houston one time. We worked out, built a pretty good relationship, and kept in touch over the years.
Now watch how this works. Hey, you think you can give me some tickets to a Zag game? How many people have asked that once they know? I know William Goss.
Quite a few. I haven't been to a game yet, but I'm with our schedule, I'm trying to fit that in. Yeah. Go see a game.
Yeah, I think I went to one, and that's when Trey Burch-Manning, another former Cardinal, played there. All right, but fantastic. Let's move you in just a little bit. Don't want to get you out of the shot here. So, growing up in Houston, what do you remember? I mean, you had success in high school, 4-time All-Star, and talk a little bit about growing up in Houston. I know one thing: you just love the snow.
Oh, I absolutely do not love the snow. Houston, I love Houston. That's my hometown. I grew up there, 18 years. So it's different here at North Idaho College, but I mean, there's a lot to do in Houston, a big city. You kind of come to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, where it's a small town. Everyone knows everyone. So, I'm enjoying my time here, though, learning a lot of new things.
My son moved down to Austin, Texas, and he says it's like a lot of times during the summer it's like walking in a swimming pool, a little humid down there.
Yeah, it is. It's very humid down there, and the climate change is very different as far as Houston and Idaho. But when you get used to it after 18 years. Yeah.
Well, you get used to just about anything. All right, let's talk a little bit about your game. What do you bring to the Cardinal team, and what was the expectations coming into the season? A new town, a long ways from home. Talk a little bit about that transition from high school to junior college.
High school to junior college is a big transition. My coach, he told me a lot about it coming in and what to expect and stuff like that. And I never believed him until I got here. And he was pretty. You got to work hard. He was on point. You got to work hard. You got to. Everything's critiqued. And, what I bring to the table is just a great defender, a great leader, and a guy that knows how to get the job done. So,
it's kind of crazy, and a lot of the guys say the same thing. In high school, you can have one guy on your team or maybe 2 guys that can dominate. Yeah. Now, everybody's that good.
Yeah, everybody is that good. And, you just have to find something that you do very well and kind of stand out. And once you do that, it's kind of like, second nature for you as far as being that guy and stuff like that. So it makes a big difference when you have something that you can bring to the table that's different from everyone else.
All right, let's talk about some of the off-the-court stuff. And we talked just briefly before we did the interview here, and I'm trying to find out some stuff about you. You don't really do video games, but I guess you bought an Xbox.
I just got an Xbox, so I'm going to try to get into the video games and stuff like that. A lot of guys, they're always playing FIFA, Madden, 2K, and stuff like that. So
they talk a mean game, don't they?
Don't they?
Goodness.
That's all they talk about is the FIFA and the Xbox. So I'm going to try to get into that, into the ranks.
So I'm hearing from Gatelli. He says he's the king of 2K, and who else is the king of FIFA?
If you have to ask me, my roommate Drew, Rumo 207, Drew's pretty good. I haven't seen many people beat Drew in a video game at all. So besides Adam Gotell,
Montana kid?
Yeah, the Montana kid.
Oh, give it up.
The Montana kid gets the job done when it comes to FIFA and Madden and 2K.
Oh man, have you found the barbecue place as good as you find it at home in Houston?
Absolutely not.
Not even Dickey's?
Absolutely not.
No.
I've tried out a lot of places. I love La Peep. Shout out to Coach Chris. I love those guys and the food that they have.
All right, I like La Peep too. That's awesome. Goodness sake, what do you miss? Everybody misses some things about home. Is there a singular thing that you could put your finger on?
If I had to put my finger on one thing, it would be the different foods and the the diversity. It's very different from home in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. So the diversity, I'd say, the big town, the big city, the big lights,
and the snow.
You know how I feel about the snow. You know exactly how I feel about the snow.
Man, you wake up in the morning, all of a sudden there's like 3 feet of it, and you're going, what in the world is this all about? All right. After your basketball career, you want to you want to become a nurse.
Yes, I do want to become a nurse. I've always loved nursing for quite a while now, and I mean, it's a really good paying job, so it's something I want to do as far as long term.
And something you're going to be able to take classes here on nursing classes?
I believe so. I want to get into the CNA program. That's about a 2-month program where you kind of get a little hands-on with nursing, and it kind of gets your feet wet before you go into, actually touching humans and having lives in your hands, you know.
That's a big responsibility.
That's a very big responsibility.
Is there any particular field, young kids, the elderly? You did mention your grandmother.
I did mention my grandmother. She had a stroke, and that kind of really influenced me on wanting to actually pursue the nursing career. I want to be a traveling nurse, so kind of become an RN and then specialize in something and travel the world and help everyone out across the country.
That is absolutely fantastic. Shout-out time, anybody back in Houston, Texas you want to give a shout-out to, whether it be, I don't know, Houston, Nigel Williams, Goss, Get Me Tickets, or who you want to say a shout-out to?
I mean, shout-out to everyone. I mean, shout-out to Nigel, shout-out to my mom, shout-out to my high school coach, De'Aaron Fox, doing his thing at Kentucky. Shout-out to everyone that's just a part of me, and hope to see you guys soon.
And send some barbecue from Texas.
Send a lot from Texas.
Another edition of Meet the Cardinals, ladies and gentlemen. Right there, that is Charles Williams.